Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I'm going to be choosing what books I'm taking with me to my new flat. So as many of you know, I am currently moving. The day you are seeing this is actually the day I'm mainly moving all of my stuff, hence why 12 hours before that I am filming me packing up my books and what books I'm going to take. I haven't decided yet, so this is going to be an interesting video with probably a lot of indecision. But yes, you can see like my computer, I say it's gone, my computer's actually over there, we just had to move it to do all the stuff. It's not going quite yet, but everything is being packed up and it's all happening very soon. So I need to get my books packed. Apologies, I do not look my best. I normally try and do like full makeup and a nice outfit for these videos. No, we have a big jumper, a baggy t-shirt, and practically no makeup because that is all the time we have today. But what books I'm taking? I have made decisions about just a very small selection because basically the way my desk is set up here, it's a chest of drawers, a desktop, and a shelving unit are all connected to make a desk. And the bottom half of that was always full of books, and I had to basically take the shelving unit with me to the new flat and replace it with a new one. I won't explain the whole saga, it was a whole furniture conundrum panic, but it's sorted now. But therefore earlier today I had to empty that whole unit out and then put the books back to get them out of the way of my room. So I have therefore chosen which books off those shelves I'm already taking. So I'm quickly going to talk through which books I'm taking off those shelving units, which is not many because those are very much books which I don't feel I need to access often and therefore ones I'm not that interested in or read years ago and not looking to reread but want to keep, things like that. So there's not too many I'll be taking with me, but there are two kind of different reasons for the books I'm taking, so we're going to go through those separately before we get on to the indecision of what I'm doing with the rest of all of my books. And just to give a bit of an idea, I currently have 3 full bookshelves, so these are 6 shelves, 3 half-height bookshelves, so 3 shelves each, my book cart, 6 shelves in my wardrobe, and the equivalent of maybe 4 or 5 shelves as like the desk. So I have a huge amount of bookshelves here, and all I'm having in my new flat are 2 standard bookshelves, which is still a lot more than a lot of people can fit, and so I'm really happy that we've managed to fit that many in, but it is a significant decrease, so I'm going to have to be restrictive in what I take, especially as I'm not obviously going to fill these shelves straight away because I will keep buying and receiving books, and therefore I need space. So let's get into the first bit of what I'm taking before we get into the panic and not knowing what to do. So the first small stack of books I have that I'm taking is these. You may notice these are all classics. I have not read a classic in years, literally years. I have not done it. I like a few, but I've definitely not investigated as many as I would like. So I am just taking a small collection. I have sort of 2 shelves of classics under there, lots of multiple editions of like my favorite books. But let's very quickly run through which of these I'm taking and why I'm taking them. So first off, we have 2 Oscar Wildes. We have The Importance of Being Earnest, which you can see I got from a charity shop, and The Picture of Dorian Gray. I have read and performed The Importance of Being Earnest multiple times. I love it so much, and occasionally I just feel like I may want to reread it because I love this play so much. And I want to try more Oscar Wilde, so Picture of Dorian Gray seems like a good pick, and I love my little green editions of Oscar Wilde. Carrying on with the little green editions, I have my copy of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I really want to get into some of the really basic classics. I do not know if I'll read these, but I just like having the option of picking up a classic, although I very rarely do, because I feel like one day I'd really like to get to them, and if the mood strikes, I want to just have a small selection of them with me to kind of keep me interested. Next up, we have Of Mice and Men. I read this for school years ago. I have read it since. I loved this book, and I always say I'm going to reread it, and it's really short. I have about 10 editions of this book, so I'm just going to take one in case I feel the need to reread it, and this one's a really, really pretty one I got in America, and it's like floppy, and it's really gorgeous and tiny. So not much shelf space, but I just feel like I need to have it with me. I will just say I'm not going to go through every single book I'm taking because that will get ridiculous, but I just thought I would for these because I never talk about classics on my channel because I never read classics. So it could be interesting to quickly talk through why I'm actually bothering to take any. Next is The Hobbit, and this is the first time I'm taking 2 editions of the same book, simply because this is definitely something I want to read at some point. And I don't know which edition I want to read, so I'm just going to take both. It has got to the point in time where I don't have enough time to make these decisions, and so we're just taking multiples. Next up is Pygmalion. This is another play I have both acted in and have read multiple times and love, and this is basically what My Fair Lady is based off of. It's brilliant, I love it. Again, if I just ever want something really quick to read, I've been really wanting to reread some of these plays, so why not? Next up is The War of the World by H.G. Wells, just a really classic sci-fi. I've heard a million things about it. I have a nice edition. Again, it's from a charity shop. All of my classics are from charity shops. So again, if I just want an easy classic, sci-fi seems like more in my wheelhouse, so maybe that one. And then the final two classics are two Virginia Woolfs. I have To the Lighthouse and Orlando. They're meant to be good. I've heard very good things. I really like these editions. That's about it. I want to really want to read some Virginia Woolf at some point because they just intrigue me. Okay, so next up, I have got these 4 books which were on those shelves. So they're not normally ones that I'd want to read particularly soon, but I need these for a specific reason. I am not telling you the reason at this point. I have something planned for 2021, a whole year-long series of videos. I'm very excited about it. A couple of you already know what it is. Some of my friends know what it is. And these play into it, potentially. That's all I'm saying. Feel free to try and guess. If you've seen Twitter interactions, you may know. But yeah, those are coming with you for that reason, but I'm not giving you any more than that at this point. But you have like less than a month to wait until I'll be announcing that whole thing, so don't worry about waiting too long. Okay, and then the only other 3 books I have already decided I'm taking, and I say decided, are these 3. These are the 3 I have to read for my job as pre-reading, so I have to take them with me because I start my job in like 3.5 weeks. So I'll be reading those very soon. So those are all the books I'm decided on so far, and now we get into indecision. This is going to be hell, so we're leaving this probably until last, or at least until a little bit later on, because I want to take every single book on this shelf, but obviously this is a full shelf, so that's half the shelving I'm going to have. I am not taking all of them, but we'll make some decisions about that in a minute. I do have an idea, but we'll get there. First of all, I'm going to go grab my book cart, because that is going with me, and decide which off there I'm still interested in taking and which I'm just not really feeling right now. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm hoping you can't see too much of the chaos in my room, but here is my book cart. I have vaguely half organized it, but not really because I'm about to completely take everything off it. So pretty much these on the top are coming with me. This is pretty much my current TBR. If you have watched Art Attack, you will recognize a lot of these books: The Betrayals, These Violent Delights, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour, The Bear and the Nightingale, Running with Lions, Raven Tower, Court of Mist and Fury. They're all books I'm meant to be reading in December. Chances of that happening, small to none. But they're going to come with me because evidently they're books I want to read soon. Wolfsong XX and The Library at Mount Shar are also books I want to read soon. You can't see those because of this mug, I am now realising. That's just my little bookmark and dart pot. It currently has a You're So Foxy mug on it. This is turning into a bookshelf tour, but that mug is going to change. So we might do a bookshelf tour in the new place. Not here though, too difficult. But yes, those 3 are again just ones I want to read soon. So top shelf, all coming with me, easy. The second shelf is where it gets a lot more difficult because both the second and third shelf for this, it's just organised in rainbow minus the one red book which just didn't fit anywhere else. These were very much put on this shelf because they're ones I want to get to really soon. So there is a good chance that a lot of these books are going to be coming with me, but there may be a few I'm not as interested in anymore, so let's have a look and see. Okay, so I've just gone through and I think I'm only culling 3. The ones I'm getting rid of are The Ensemble by Aja Gable. I'm not sure. I read the first, how much of this? 170 pages of this year and then put it down because it was boring me. So maybe one day, not a priority to take with me. Next is Steel Crow Saga by Paul Kruger. This was one I was really anticipating, and then a lot of not so great stuff came out about the author. And so I am really not sure how I feel about this book anymore. I owned it before that. I may still read it at some point, but it's not a priority for me anymore, that is for sure. So it's not taking up the precious space on the bookshelves I'm gonna have. And then the third one is Nocturna by Maya Montaigne. This actually sounds really interesting and it's definitely one I want to read, but I don't read a lot of sci-fi and I have some other sci-fi books which are higher up my priority list than this. So nothing wrong with this one, just not one for right now for me, so I'm just gonna leave it. It's one of those that if in like 6 months I'm really interested in it, I'm literally living 30 minutes away from home, so it is so easy for me to come back and get books if I need to. It's not like I'm needing any of these forever, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so that's it for the book cart. I successfully culled very little. So we're gonna get it out of the way, and we're going to move on probably to this bookshelf, which is terrifying. Okay, so moving on to this bookshelf. For anyone who doesn't know, this is very much a bookshelf of like my favorite authors. plus a few others, but pretty much that's what it is. So I would love to take all of these, but pretty much if I've read it, unless it's like my all-time favorite, I'm not taking it because however much I enjoy them, they're not ones I'm going to reread that much, even though I love them. So we're going to take like a memento of each author, I think is the plan. So starting with actually the second shelf, I am going to take my box set of The Raven Cycle. These weren't sold as a box set. I bought the box off a Kickstarter and I bought the books from an American bookstore signed. These are really special to me. I love the series. I love this box set. So I am going to take this. Some of the reason I'm taking some of these is just to fill up space because I am going to have empty space on my bookshelves to start with. That is the plan. And so some of these will probably come home in a couple months once I've bought too many books and filled them. Actually, continuing with Maggie Stiefvater, I am also going to take Lament and Ballad by her. I read the first book in this series years ago and I never finished the second book because I left it on a plane. I have since replaced my copy that I left on a plane, but I never finished it because I left it on the plane on the way to a holiday, and so like 2 weeks later when I got back I'd forgotten and didn't bother. But I would really like to reread this at some point, and it's like fairy and music, so kind of sounds like something I would love. So I do think I would like to take these, and that's not too much space. Watch me, this whole shelf, just justify taking as many as I can without filling up a whole bookshelf, but we're trying. For V. Schwab, I don't know what to take, because my favourite series from her is probably The Archived and The Unbound, or this Savage Song and Our Dark Duet, and those are the ones I'm most likely to reread. But like, do we see how beautiful these editions are? I don't want to leave these, so we're gonna take a few. I'm trying to be restrained, I swear. Okay, so we are taking The Archived and The Unbound. We are taking, trying to get things off my shelf, this Savage Song duology, because I love it so much. And then I'm just gonna take the ILLUMICRATE edition of this, because honestly, if I need anything face out, just to like fill space, this is beautiful and it works perfectly. So that's it for V. Schwab. Those are the wrong way around. That's what I'm taking. My hope is I can keep the Maggie Stiefvater, V. Schwab, and maybe another author within one shelf, and then that's like at least condensing down 3 shelves to 1, which is pretty good. My hope is to condense this whole shelf down to 3 shelves, because that will be then a quarter of the shelves I have, and a whole shelf and a half of unread, plus some on my book cart, plus I do have a big shelving unit as part of my desk which I can cram some onto. That's enough books to keep me going, so that's the plan. So moving down here, this is all my copies of The Night Circus, The Starless Sea, the Every Heart a Doorway series, Middle Game, and my Alex Harrow books. This shelf is coming with me. There is no question in that. These are my favourite books of all time. I am obsessed with my collections of these books. They are coming with me. There may be a point where I just can't fit all my books in as some of these have to come back. My plan originally was to take 1 copy of each with me, but it's so important to me. I love these books so much, so I am going to take all of these and we're gonna leave me to it and not call me out for it. Okay? Okay. So then moving down a bit, we do have my Laini Taylor shelf, which is here. And again, this is coming with me. I'm currently rereading the series for Dos Avalon. I will be rereading this series probably next year with the same group of people. That's kind of like an unofficial plan. I love them, it's coming with me. So these 2 shelves are just kind of coming as is, fine. For Samantha Shannon, the books I will be taking are the first 3 in the Boatswain series, as I'm literally planning to read these in the next month or so makes sense to take them. And then I'm taking my paperback version of Priory. I did start a reread of this year. I didn't have a chance to finish it because I was just didn't have the chance, but I'm determined to reread this at some point, so good to have at least 1 copy with me. I'm not taking all 3 because it's a bloody huge book, but just 1 copy. Further along this shelf, I don't know if you can see down here, I have the Nevernight series. I'm not taking that. I loved it. I don't need it. And then we've got the first 2 Skyward books by Brandon Sanderson. I'll just pick one up so you can actually see Skyward. And I'm not taking these because I think the 3rd one's coming out in 2021, maybe right at the end of it. But I think there's going to be 4, so I may not reread books 1 and 2 until book 3 and 4 are out, so I don't think I need to reread these soon. So how much I love them, they're not coming for now. We do then have my copies of Docile. It's coming with me. I love this book a whole ton, and again, it may tie into the project for next year, so it's coming with me. And then I've just angled so you can see this bit down here. This is all my Leigh Bardugo books. I'm not taking any of them, honestly. I enjoyed them perfectly well. I have no intention of rereading them anytime soon. I know this sequel to King of Scars is coming out, but with the gaps between books at the moment from Leigh Bardugo, I will be waiting for that trilogy to complete before rereading King of Scars and continuing with the series, so there's no rush. I do then have my copies of the Divergent trilogy though. I'm going to take these because it feels too wrong to be in a house without them, and I may continue my reread of this series. But this may be one tomorrow that if I start setting up my bookshelves and these don't fit, that they kind of just like don't stay there and come back home. We'll see. Okay, so with that done, I've just very quickly rearranged the shelves which had gaps just to make them look a bit nicer for me because I just prefer it. Obviously, these two shelves are going to be cleared completely and they may just be empty for a while, but I kind of have to just set that up. Okay, so I'm going to go and grab a huge stack of books that I need to decide what I'm doing with. And then we're going to move on to the big bookcases because I need to get on with this fast. Okay, so the huge stack of books I just went and got, I won't be able to pick up probably, or maybe, okay. These are all books gifted by you wonderful lot over the last few weeks and some of my friends. I would love to take every single one of these and I probably will be taking the majority, and I promise you if I do not take one you've gifted me, it is no personal offense. It is not that I don't like the book. I am literally just having to choose based off what books I am feeling to read like right now because I am going to be limited on space. And again, a lot of these books will be switching over the coming months. I may make more videos in future of like which books I'm taking home and which books I'm picking up. But just please, I do not want to cause any offense with these. It's literally just a case of like ones I know I'm going to get to in the next few months. And there's also a chance I will only be in this flat for 6 months. Realistically, I'm not going to read more than 60 books in that time. If that many, which probably not even close, honestly, and I'm taking a lot more than that, so please don't be offended. I'm just trying to guess at what exactly might pique my interest soon, and my interest and taste changes vastly all the time, so sorry if I don't take the one you got me, but that's all going off. First one, top of the pile, Space Between Worlds. FAES and Gay's Book Club pick for February. It's going with me. I need to read it in February guaranteed, so easy, it's going with me. Forest of Souls by Laurie M. Lee I am very interested in, but I'm not sure it's going to be one I get to really soon, just because one of my goals for 2021 is going to be reading more series and finishing more series, so starting another one probably isn't the best bet right now. But yeah, not right now. I'm so excited for all of these, so that's why they're on my wish list. Date Me Bryson Keller, probably not. Again, sounds phenomenal, sounds so interesting, but I don't read too much contemporary, and so I'm going to be really limited on what contemporary I'm taking for myself, and I am trying to get into a bit more adult contemporary as well. I do need YA contemporary to break things up, but I don't think this one is going to come with me. Battle Royale, this is coming with me. This is one of my most anticipated books, and also, again, links into the sneaky 2021 project you'll hear about soon. I feel kind of bad teasing it so much, but I'm only doing it because you guys are seeing it so soon, and because I don't want to reveal why I'm taking some of these books, and I don't want to just say there's no reason because there is. Next is Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. Again, YA contemporary. It might make the cut. With YA contemporary, I might kind of later get them all together and then see which ones are interesting me most because I don't read that much of it, so I don't want to take too many. Next is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is coming with me. I'm so unbelievably hyped for this book. It's like fantasy romance smut, which I'm so here for always, especially right now when I'm busy and want quick fun reads. I say quick, it's like 700 pages? 600 pages, but it'd be fun and loads of people are reading it super fast, so that's coming with me. Witches of Ash and Ruin I'm not sure about because although I have been anticipating this book for a stupidly long time, it feels like a perfect kind of spooky season book, and I don't read too seasonally, so this could also feel like a January read to me normally, but I already know how many books I need to read in January and I don't think I'll be able to squeeze it in. So this is a maybe. This might be a kind of see how much space I have when I've gone through my books and we'll... Next up is Saga Volume 6. Yes, I'm taking quite a few graphic novels. Quick graphic novels are always a plus, so absolutely. Midnight Light by Mary Rukowski. I might take this, but probably not right now, although it sounds very interesting. It's just not one, for some reason, that I look at it and think, oh, I want to read that straight away. So when I'm so limited, not coming with me. And then finally, The Wolf of Oroñaro. Yes, I know I just said I shouldn't be starting more series, but I want to. I want to know what everyone's hyping about, so it's gonna come with me, and it's such a cool cover, and I'm so excited for it. Okay, so for every shelf I've been through so far, I am taking more books than I'm not, and that is worrying. So we're gonna go over to my main bookcase, and I'm not gonna be going through every book there at all, because I have literally hundreds. But I'm basically just gonna pick off different selections of books and then kind of explain to you why each selection is going with me. I think it's the best way to do it, so let's do that. Okay, so we've moved over to sort of my main bookshelves. I do have them 2 here, and then more up there, and then that one down there, plus that stack of books, plus a whole load in my wardrobe. But if you have seen the video where we built the shelves in the wardrobe, you will know I put books in there that I don't need to access because they're not ones I'm particularly interested in right now, so we're not even going in there to look for books because I don't need to add more. So now we're gonna have a cute little time lapse of me going through a certain section of this shelf and picking some books and then telling you why I picked that stack. to my LGBT shelf. Obviously a lot more books than those on the shelf are LGBT, it's just a specific shelf I have, and they're mainly contemporary but some fantasy, such as this one. So, Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. I read, loved, Taking With Me, because I want to read the sequel, Not Your Villain, and the third book, Not Your... I don't know what the third book's called. Whatever it's called. But I want to reread the first one to read the second and the third, so they're going with me. Similar premise. The Fever King by Victoria Lee. I'm going to reread this so I can read The Electric Air. Simple. Next up are just two I really want to read. First, Anger is a Gift by Mark Oshiro and We're Okay by Nina LaCour. I've heard amazing things about both. I want to read them both. They're coming with me. Next up, we have two stacks from authors who I absolutely adore and they're my favourites, so I have to bring them. Two books by TJ Klune, two copies of The Extraordinaries because I have no chill, and Verona Comics and Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Duggan. These are all coming with me, I can't be parted from them. And then finally, to round out the LGBT bits, we just have two of my favourite LGBT books, Camp and Red, White and Royal Blue. I love them, they're comfort reads, I would reread both. I've read this multiple times already. I love both, I want them to come with me. Okay, carrying on, I'm now just going to go through the top 3 shelves of both of these bookcases, which is like my main shelves, and pick out anything that seems interesting, hopefully not too many. Okay, so let's go through these ones. Okay, so this whole stack, no particular reason, I just want to read them soon because I think they sound really interesting. If you want to know what they are, you can pause and read the spines. So yeah, that's just 6 books which are high on my TBR, so I'm going to take them. Okay, next 4 individual reasons. Here's Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. I'm intrigued by the hype and honestly I love Everyman editions, so it's just pretty and I want to take it. My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, one of my favourite books of the year, and I know I want to reread it, so I just want it with me. Tiny Pretty Things, TV show coming out soon, it's about ballet. I did ballet for years, I love ballet, so a TV show about it, I'm intrigued. Might have to read it before the show comes out. Or before I watch the show, probably not before the show's out because I think that's very soon. And finally, Dry by Neil and Jared Schusterman. For reasons for 2021. Okay, so I just got to my middle grade section and I honestly don't know what to do because I very rarely read middle grade, but they're also super pretty. So I think I might just, if I can pull them out, take the Nevermore trilogy. I've read the first 2, I want to read the third one. These are some of my favourite editions ever, they're stunning, so I think I'll just take these for middle grade, especially as the other middle grade series I want to read. I think only the first 2 of the books are out and I want to wait till the trilogy completes, so I wouldn't read them that soon anyway. Okay, so poetry and essays, I'm only taking a few. I'm taking Water Runs Red by Jenna Clare, poems, Elegy in Blue by Benjamin Leroy Sands, and then for kind of essays I'm taking the Bible. Just a few shorter bits if I wanted them. Okay, we are now moving down to sort of fantasy and sci-fi, so I may be taking lots. Okay, so that actually wasn't too hard. I don't have as many as I thought I would. I think I've read a lot more than I thought. So we have Descendant of the Crane by Joan He. It sounds amazing, I want to read it. And we also have The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. Super intrigued, heard amazing things. Want to read both, should be quite quick, easy YA fantasy / sci-fi. Perfect. Next up, we have the whole Wayfarers series so far by Becky Chambers. I'm not actually sure if To Be Taught If Fortunate is the same series or not, but these are in the wrong order. I want to read them. They're going in the right order. I think that's the right order. They're coming with me. Hopefully I'll read them in 2021, especially as the 4th book is coming out in January, maybe? I'm intrigued, everyone loves them, I think I will too. Next, series I want to continue. I am taking the whole Black Wings Beating trilogy. You may notice I only have one of the books. I know that I'm getting the other 2 for Christmas, so I'm taking the whole trilogy, I just don't have them right now. I'm taking The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, because I will continue the Mistborn series, I promise. And I'm taking Fortuna Sworn, because I'm getting Restless Slumber for Christmas, and I'll get the 3rd book when it comes out in paperback next year. I'm definitely going to continue it, and I don't want to only have the second 2 books with me, so I'm going to take the first one as well. And then finally, some novellas. I am taking Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps and Taste of Honey by Kai Shanti Wilson. This is meant to be amazing, queer novellas. They sound good, I want to read them. I'm also taking All Systems Red, first book in the Murderbot Diaries. I am dying to read the Murderbot Diaries, so it's coming with me. Okay, so I thought I was done over here. I completely forgot the 2 bookshelves up there. Majority of these are favourite authors and books I've read, so majority will not be coming with me, but there are a couple I do want to grab and bring. Firstly, Paper Girls Volume 1 and 2. More graphic novels, always great, they're coming with me. Next up is very excessive. It is all 3 copies of Mr. Petrumba's 24-Hour Bookstore plus Ajax Penumbra 1969. It's a favourite, I can't leave it, oops. Next up is The Kiss Quotient and the Bride Test by Helen Huang. I really enjoyed these books. They have Own Voices Autistic Rep, they're romances, they're great. The third book is coming out next year, The Heart Principle. I'm thinking I may reread the first two before reading it because I did read these in 2018, I think. Maybe this one in 2019. Maybe both in 2019, but it'll be like 2 years by the time the third one comes out, so I want to reread them. And they're super fun, quick romances, so if ever I'm feeling slumpy or I'm just really busy, they are perfect to get me through that. Okay, and then the final two are The Time Traveler's Wife. I have read this, I love it. I want to have a copy in case I want to reread it because I read this, God, 3.5 years ago now, and I did like it. It's like one of my favorite books, but I feel like when I read it, I was a lot younger and I didn't really read adult fiction at all. So I feel like I'd have much more of an appreciation for it now, so it's definitely one I'm interested in rereading, plus I just love it. I want to have it with me. And then Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I have read this book before. I did not love it as much as everyone else, but again, I feel like being a little bit older now in a different place in life, I would appreciate it a lot more. So it's one I'm super intrigued to reread at some point, and I like this edition, so why not? Okay, I think that is now it, so we're gonna go back over to our sitting and we're gonna be done. Okay, so that is it. That's all the books I'm taking with me and the reasons. I hope this makes sense. I realise this was filmed really last minute and so maybe a teensy bit chaotic. Apologies if it is. I tried. But here they all are. They are all behind me in these 4 stacks. You can see the 4th one there. Plus Erin Morgenstern and Laini Taylor. Honestly, with them all in one place, it looks like way too many. Like, way too many. But I'm gonna hope that it is okay. As I said, I'm gonna arrange them on my bookshelves probably on Saturday. Any that do not fit, or I feel like I just have too many, I will just bring them straight home. It's not the end of the world, and I will probably have a video organising my bookshelf, so I'll mention in that if I am having to bring any home. But I'm pretty happy with the selection. I feel like I've got a good variety. I have contemporary, I have vast majority fantasy, because it is the majority of what I read, and yeah, I think that's what we're going with for now. I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I may change my mind, especially some where I've got like multiple editions or favourite authors of books I've already read. They may come home because although I love them and may want to reread them, it's not necessarily the best use of the space, but we will see. So that's it, I think. I'm pretty happy. I think that's it. I've realised this video isn't so chaotic, so thank you so much for sticking with it if you've got to the end. I have no idea how long it is. I've been filming for the best part of an hour. I don't know how long this is going to be once I'm edited. But thank you so much for watching. That is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know if you think I've made some really bad choices. Let me know if you agree with my choices. Let me know your top 5 books you would take if you could only take 5 with you. I'm not answering that question because it would kill me. But you guys answer it, I'm intrigued. But that is it, so subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, all the links to my other social media, as well as the read-alongs and book clubs I am a host of, I'll link down below in the description as they always are in case you want to take part in anything like that. But that is it for this video, so bye, and I'll see you in the next one. And thank you again if you stuck all the way to the end, because this was a bit mad.